bad bitch, I'm a bad bitch, one.
Are you in a different location?
I am. So we're at an Airbnb.
Ooh.
Because Ben, so he's like he's like part of like a coaching team, basically. And they're doing like a coaches meetup or whatever. So there's a couple of the coaches that don't live in Florida. So they're here from like out of town and stuff like that. So we don't live directly in Tampa. We're like an hour north.
Right.
So, but all of the coaching, like the activities that they're doing are in Tampa. So we just got an Airbnb. So we didn't have to go back and forth. Yeah. So we are staying in an Airbnb, but it's cute.
Fun.
I like it. Yeah. It's always nice to do that.
It really is. I feel like especially, I don't know, like you're the earlier end of your prep, obviously, but like even to like help like people prep, if you can obviously manage it, like travel wise, but obviously it's not like you're states and states away or whatever,
right?
And it's home. But I'm sure even that little change up is just like, ooh, like exciting or just nice to have that sort of. It is.
It's it gets like more stressful to do stuff like that. I feel like the deeper into prep you get, where it's like I just want to stay in my own house. But I mean, even still, like being early in prep, it makes me like, it's fun, but I definitely get a little bit thrown off mentally. I'm just like, oh, I'm not in my normal routine, you know?
Yeah. So,
yeah.
You're a little frozen. It's okay. I mean, you're honestly, your audio is coming through really good.
I was gonna say, at least the audio is good.
Yeah.
Oh, am I frozen?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good now, right?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, really? I see myself moving. That's so weird.
Oh, that is
let me see.
It kind of comes and goes. But
there you go.
Am I good now? Okay.
Yeah.
At least the audio isn't glitching. That's like the worst when it's just like
in and out. I know. I've listened to a couple podcasts where it's been like that. And it's so hard for like my brain to focus on like whatever the conversation is because I can't I don't know. I just can't catch a word. And it just
The worst is like sometimes it'll always happen with guys. Like, what is it about like fire alarms, fire detectors, smoke?
Oh yeah.
And they're chirping in the background. Guys can deal with noises like that, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah. I'm just over here.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'll like completely lose my train of thought. Like if I start hearing something, I'll be like, hold on, I cannot focus. Yeah.
So funny.
No way.
I'm so the same.
Well, let me know if it keeps doing it because I don't even know if I'm like on the Wi-Fi on my phone or not. But if it's okay right now, then we'll leave it.
You just okay. You just they're good now.
Okay.
Great. But actually traveling, obviously, like in prep, I think we've covered that a couple times. But so when we came to Tampa, I was like 4 weeks out, somewhere around there. 6 weeks out, I can't remember. But and honestly, like it really wasn't that bad. But like I will say, like the Airbnb that we stayed at, or at least like finding like just like the prep foods, you know what I mean? Like the chicken that we bought from, I don't know, it was kind of like some lesser quality looking grocery store that we got it from or whatever.
Yeah.
But and just like having to like cook it on this, little tiny like propane grill like outside and stuff, and just like kind of having this small kitchen to try and maneuver around because it was just a little tiny like Airbnb spot that we got. So yeah, doing stuff like that sometimes.
Oh no, now you froze.
Oh no.
At least for me.
Okay. We're good.
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, cool. Again, at least for you, is the audio still like fine?
Yeah. It was well, the audio kind of like was a little glitchy too.
Okay.
I think
Let
honestly,
me leave and come back in and see if like maybe I need to get onto the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I would say if you want to just like pop out real quick and then pop back in and see if that works.
Yeah, let me try.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you didn't freeze at all for me, Chey.
Yeah, me either. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably, I mean, it's obviously her Airbnb that she's staying at or whatever. Just the service wherever she is. But yeah. So how have you been this week?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah. Right? Looks like really good.
Going with you and prep for Michael.
Really good actually. I feel like he's in a really good groove right now. Honestly, like the weight seems to just be like freaking coming off, and they're really not doing anything super crazy. Cardio is not really super high at the moment. How he's like his coach or whatever, how they kind of break things down. It's kind of like neat, and it's neat to find like just how other coaches or like what their coaching styles like, or but you'll have him check in like every like 3 or 4 days or something, and then it'll be like, make sure you get in 3 45-minute cardio sessions between now and then or something. But yeah, it's been pretty straightforward, I would say. They're kind of diving pretty quick, it seems, but I know it's just wanting to make sure that like he really gets there in time, because it's definitely like the shortest prep that he's ever had. I think we started when he was, I'm so bad at this stuff. I'm pretty sure it was like 16, 17, something weeks like that until to Texas, I think it was. So even like shorter for Tampa, which we're kind of still on the fence about. He's not sure if it's going to be wise to, because we'd literally have to travel to Tampa, and then we would pretty much just travel right from there to Texas, because it would be so silly to go back up to Maine and then down to Texas.
Yeah.
Like we just might as well stay like a day or whatever in Tampa, or honestly just go to Texas that much earlier. Because I know for him, like that's kind of his like show that he's gunning for. That's like the more top priority for him over the two.
Okay.
But I hope he does Tampa just because I want to go.
I know. I want you guys to come.
And then too, like it's like financially too, like having to do it back to back. But then like, and even like peaking like back like that quick, you know what I mean? Like maybe like a 2 or 3 week stretch in between is like a little more I don't know, doable. And he wouldn't want to like really affect his look for Texas. So like they just kind of have the point to like, all right, make sure we're at least ready for Texas. And then maybe depending on how things go, like jumping into Tampa beforehand. But
yeah. I know like last year I did Tampa and Texas, and like the back-to-back I guess like shows I felt like it was okay, but it doesn't give you a lot of time to like make any real adjustments. Like I know, like at least for me, it would be different for everybody, obviously, but we're going for a more full look for Tampa. Just like it was my first time doing wellness, so it was like, all right, like let's just try to go for like a little bit of a fuller look, and it was like too full. So we definitely kept it a lot more conservative for Texas, but like I still had all of what I loaded on like kind of floating around still from Tampa, you know what I mean? So there's only like so much that you can do
in that 1 week,
less than a week. So but it was fun.
Yeah, we'll see. And like, I mean, obviously they're just like 2 really great shows to do, and it'd be really cool if we could do both and kind of manage both, but we'll see. We'll see what the cards bring. But
Jess, are you gonna come for Tampa to watch, or
probably not, honestly? I need to
I know
I need to figure out what I'm doing.
Travel stuff this year.
For like maybe a week in June.
Yeah.
In June. And then once I get that out of the way, just because it's like I owe my mother a visit before I have anything on the calendar. And I meant to go like earlier this year. It's freaking May already, guys. Like,
Yeah, no, it's so
I know.
Yeah.
I
Like,
don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
Man, it's insane. Like halfway through 2025 already just feels weird to say.
But
It's scary.
I'm turning 30. It's like creeping up. It's next
Oh
month.
my
Next month.
gosh.
This is terrifying. I feel like I truly will have like an emotional breakdown. Like I don't know.
Well, Alyssa and I are both masters, so don't start calling yourself old in front of us. Because
It's more, I think it's more or less just that like I'm officially gonna be out of my 20s. You know what I mean? Like it's truly like diving into like I'm now gonna be looked at. I don't know. I guess like from like the younger crowd or whatever. Like we're not in with like the young 20s anymore. You know what I mean? Like we're considered like
a good thing. It's a good thing.
No, and it's. I mean, it definitely is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always had this like weird just fear of just like getting older and stuff. And I don't know. I feel like
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I have a weird thing about like getting older. Like I mean, you have to be okay with it, I guess, you know, but I'm also like, I'm not okay with this. This is
that's like,
I don't
honestly, when I'm stoned at night on the couch, I can't think about getting old, because then I start like, you know what my fear is like having dementia. Like I'm so scared of losing my mind. I don't know why. So I can't go down that.
Yeah, when you're like high, I mean that's not really what you want to be thinking about.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh well, I'll just keep reading my little book.
Pretending like it's never gonna happen. But
yeah,
I think that is like scary, because it's like I don't know, like what is the experience like? You know what I mean? Like, is it kind of like you're in your body, like looking out through this lens, and like, you know what I mean? Like, is it kind of like this dark space that you're in, and like you're in there, but you can't, you know what I mean? Like the brain to mouth to or whatever just like isn't there. Scary.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think it's like because I'm 36, so I don't feel that age.
I know.
I feel physically like I don't know, like either like early 30s or like, late 20s. I still feel physically good. And then like Ben is 10 years younger than me, so I feel almost like, man, but like how did this happen? Like how am I 36? Like how am I like creeping up on 40 when everything else is still like, we have like a house and like adult things, but it's also like I still feel like a kid.
Like nothing's changed, right? Like
it's just weird. I don't know.
And I feel like this is such a common, I don't know, feeling amongst every human being. You know what I mean? Like I've had conversations with people in their 50s, like with my parents, who are creeping up on 60. And I feel like that's the same sentiment that everybody has, of like, I still feel like wait, what? I'm like, I'm gonna be 60 years old. Like I still feel like I'm 30, like I just think that's a really weird concept. And just go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, which I guess is a good thing. Feel younger than you are,
Yeah, for sure.
Not a bad thing, but still it's weird. It's weird.
And then just like the human life in general, I feel like it's just so short in the grand scheme of like the big, plan, the big whatever. I just feel like 80 years is not enough to experience everything, I don't know. I feel like that's like a big like catalyst to like wanting to like travel and like wanting to see more places and like meet more people. Is just like I'm just wanting to make most of the time, you know what I mean? And like at the end of the day, like when I'm 80 years old sitting on my porch, like what did I even do? You know what I mean? Like what kind of connections or relationships did I even make or whatever? And I just don't want to have that like shit, like I should have done more,
Yeah, I get that. And I think that's where like I feel like nowadays people are thinking more about that kind of a thing, because I know, like, obviously we want jobs that are stable and, you know, all those things, but it's like, I don't know. It's so much work and no play. You know what I mean? It's like you only get so much PTO and you only, you know, get so much time, like, to do whatever you want. So it's like trying to build a life where you do have more freedom, I guess, rather than just like being okay with like, oh, I only get like 2 weeks of PTO and that's it and whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, we all have to do what we have to do, but it's like, at least for me, I know that I'm thinking about, okay, like how can I do something that makes me not have to feel like a prisoner to that, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean,
So
ultimately, I feel like for most people, that's kind of the goal. You know what I mean? Finding something that you don't feel like you're dragging yourself out of bed to go do or whatever, and like you're happy doing it. And I don't know. And then again, there are some people that are perfectly happy just, you know, going to the same place for 40, 50 years, clocking in and doing that whole routine and stuff, which is fine too. But yeah, I definitely want a little more out of this life than that, you know.
For
Like,
sure.
at least to like live in a different country at some point, you know. Experience someplace new, but
yeah. So
well, how's prep going for you, Alyssa? It looks like he's going pretty good.
It's going good. Yeah. I mean, let's see. I just finished my 5th week, or like Monday is like week 5 done. So
that it's already been 5 weeks in prep.
I know. Yeah. So, and then let's see, yesterday, it was Friday. So yesterday I was 11 weeks out. So it's really not even that much longer that I have. I mean, like you were saying about Michael, like this is probably one of my shorter preps.
Yeah.
Because I think I started, what, if it's 11, like 16, 16 weeks out.
Yeah.
But everything seems like it's clicking right now. Like it's going pretty smoothly. Cardio's not crazy high. I'm only doing 20 minutes post workout, and then it's okay. So I train 3 days a week. I do legs. Right. And then after each of those leg days, I'll do my 20 minutes post workout cardio. And then on the other 3 days that I'm like not training, then I wake up and I do 30 minutes fasted cardio. So it's basically like 6 days a week of cardio, but it's not much. It's like 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Training 3 days a week. And then every Saturday so far, I've gotten like a refeed and a cheat meal. And yeah, my body's responding well. I think like having the job now where I'm working from home has like decreased stress a lot. So I know for me, whenever I'm stressed, like it just seems like my body doesn't want to respond. Like it takes it a lot more. Like last prep, we didn't really do refeeds very much. I would get a cheat meal, but not like a refeed and a cheat meal. Cardio was pretty high, like pretty quick. It was just taking a lot more to like get me where I needed to be. I also didn't have like a great off season going into that season, but like I definitely think stress was just way higher. And this time it's not. So I think that plays a big role.
Absolutely. I think it's definitely like one of the more, I don't know, like I guess under whatever you want to say. What am I trying to say? Not underestimated. Why was I going to say underestimated? You know what I'm saying? Like
I know what you mean.
The value that like put a lot of value.
People like don't take that into consideration as much.
Thank you. Yes.
Like how much stress can impact it.
And then it's almost like I feel some people think like the more that they do, like the more, I guess, like hardcore or like badass it is. And it's like, just because like maybe you don't recognize that like you're in a stress state, like your internal, like, you know what I mean? Like your internal just physiology is in a funk because, you know, the body's just trying to keep up with what you're doing and all the just stressors that you're putting your body through alone in a prep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you add in the fact that, you know, you're working 2 jobs and you have 3 kids, and not that to say that you can't do bodybuilding or you can't prep with those things, but those are it's just something to really like take into consideration. And you may have to do, you know, things that maybe somebody else wouldn't have to do in order to kind of manage your cortisol levels and, you know, kind of have additional protocols to kind of manage that stuff. Yeah, 'cause it's super important.
And that's why, like, this prep, I mean, I feel really motivated because I'm like, I don't know the next time that I'll be in a situation like this. I mean, I'm not trying to be like negative, but I'm like, you know, anything could change at any moment for anybody. So it's like, while I have the opportunity of like working from home and we don't have any kids yet, or, you know, any of those things right now, I'm like, this is the time to like put everything I can into it. So that's kind of like where my head's at right now, because like you said, anybody can do it and you can make it work with like whatever circumstances, but it might be much more difficult than if you didn't have certain stressors. So I'm just trying to take advantage of it.
Absolutely. And I think it's just a matter of, Jessica and I actually were talking about this earlier, but like managing and setting expectations for like going into a bodybuilding prep or even, you know, like an off season or something like that. And just kind of mentally checking yourself of like, okay, like what do I have going on in life and like what's feasible for me and like what's manageable. And I don't know, just so that way it's like, obviously if you have these like extremely high expectations, like making it to the Olympia, but you're not even like a pro yet. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you want to make sure that you kind of check yourself before, I don't know, investing so much into this, you know, or just at least know where you're at in life to be able to be like, yep, you know, like I can afford this, I can make the time for this. Cause like I can't imagine anyone's doing this trying to half-ass it, you know what I mean? Or trying to look mediocre, you know?
Yeah. And like nothing in life is ever going to be totally perfect. Everybody runs into roadblocks and things like that during prep, but you kind of want to make sure that you're in as like smooth of a spot as you can be going into a prep, I guess. So, you know, I usually try to make sure I don't have like any huge events coming up. I mean, you can always work around things, but just I don't know. I try to do it at the most like convenient time I can.
To add on to that, not trying to totally change the subject, but like I think
No,
that people forget you need to be in a good spot, like mentally, like confident with, not even necessarily confident, because I don't think too many of us are necessarily like overflowing with confidence, but you at least need to be like confident in your own ability to like put the blinders on and just like do the work, you know, and not be one of those people who's like, you need to be aware of where your mind goes when you're scrolling through social media. Let's just put it like that, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten to the point where it's like, I can scroll through and be like, oh my God, she looks great. And like, it's admiration, but it took a long time to get there. You know?
Yeah, I definitely can relate to that. Like seeing, I don't know, not that like, I would say I've ever had like a poor attitude about it, but it's just like, damn, you know, like why didn't my shoulders grow in the amount of time that like hers did? You know what I mean? Not necessarily thinking about like, okay, like what boxes is she checking that maybe I'm not? You know what I mean? And kind of again, kind of what we're talking about, like just being realistic with yourself. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that social media is a very kind of interesting playground when it comes to just like the bodybuilding world in general, I guess. But people like to put a lot of opinions and make a lot of assumptions and stuff. And I don't know, I always have to remind ourselves that like it's just a blip of somebody's life. You know what I mean? Like it's a little micro moment into somebody's world, you know?
It's really easy to find like some goon lighting after training.
Yeah.
And everyone looks great. I'm not like
Yeah.
throwing shade at anyone, but
No, it's so true.
I never
It
really
is.
figured out how to take like pictures of myself post-workout. So I'd always be like, damn, they look nuts. And I'd be comparing to my like flat fasted check-ins. So
Yeah.
never just admire how good people look post-training, but
Yeah.
don't let it get to you.
Yeah.
See some check-in pictures.
Yeah. It's actually, I think it's funny because Ben just posted something about this on his story. Like he did like a little create mode, like typed something out. And it was something very similar to what we're saying about like pictures on Instagram literally don't matter. Like what you look like on stage is what matters. He was like, I could like put myself in some awesome lighting and get like a certain angle and like a super like quality camera. And he's like, I could maybe like look close to C-Bum. He was like, but I'm nowhere near close to C-Bum. He's like, it doesn't matter like
And he's
what
not
your
lying.
picture
I
looks
mean,
like.
he still looks awesome. Like these people still look fucking awesome. Like I'm not taking that away from them.
Yeah.
But there's
But
definitely
it's like you could like make some awesome angle and like lighting and stuff and like make yourself look crazy, and then you get on stage and it's not what you're seeing on Instagram.
And it's those mandatory poses that matter. Like
Absolutely.
like nothing, especially for like figure, like I don't care what you look like. Let me see your front shot and your back shot. Like
yeah.
I don't know, because like at the end of the day, like that's all that matters. Like it doesn't matter what somebody did over, what you did, or how much better they came. Like it's just the stage shows it all. You know what I mean? Like if something, I don't know, I guess like if you weren't checking your boxes, like that's where it's going to show. And I feel like, I don't know, there's no reason to like be upset like with a placing. You know what I mean? Like obviously you can have like expectations of like where you want to land, and at the end of the day, like we're all doing this because we want to win. But I don't know, like just be grateful that you even get to do it. You know what I mean? And that you do get to stand up against people who have these obviously first place winning physiques and stuff, and kind of be considered with them. And I don't know, I think it's crazy for somebody to like throw a fit over like, oh, I should have gotten second place or first place over this person because I had XYZ, or this person. Chris Bentano posted on his story a little rant about it, and about how this like girl pretty much said that like she won because she took more PEDs or like ran more drugs or something like that. And
that's like the worst one too. Like that's like
it really is
one out of all of them. And I just think it's like, I don't know, like he said in his like rant, like it's just like a cop out for, quite literally like any of it. Like maybe she is just that much more genetically better than you are. Maybe, you know what I mean? She was able to nail her sleep in half your prep. You were only getting like 5-6 hours of sleep because your job or something. You know what I mean? Like all these like little factors are like all come into play, and just to like pinpoint that one thing in the sport and say that like that was why like they did better than you did. Like I don't know, I just think that's you're not doing the sport for the right reasons if that's kind of your reason to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I think it all just goes back to like, I know it's so cliche and people probably get sick of hearing it, but like you really do just need to like realize that the person you need to be is yourself. Like I know we all fucking win, but at the end of the day, like realistically, whether you win or you lose, like it doesn't really change anything when you wake up the next day.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah,
even if you want,
even if you turn pro, if you turn pro, like you're not gonna wake up, oh, I'm a professional bodybuilder, I guess I can quit my day job. Like you're probably gonna wake up and do your cardio just like the person who lost,
Exactly.
And if you lose, you can sometimes I think you can almost use losing as like even greater fuel to the fire, you know? And
Yeah.
people are only going to remember it if you threw the hissy fit and wanted to say, oh, I only lost because I don't want to do as many PEDs, you know?
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
It's crazy. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
But
Yep, I agree. I think you really can't be doing this for money, or you know what I mean? It's like,
we're
even as a
winning.
pro, if you win a pro show, like, you don't make that much money. It's
Yeah.
like, it's what you said. Like, you're still gonna win. Maybe you do win your show, but you're still gonna go back to your life, whatever you have going on in life. Like, that's what you're coming back to. So it's like, you can't be doing this for fame or money or something like that. Like, it's yeah, you against you, really, just for your own like gratification.
Yep.
Not only that, but it's like, I feel like, you know, mainly when I watch pro figure shows, to be honest with you, I tend to like love the girls that are like maybe in the fifth place area.
Mhm.
So it's like, it doesn't really matter to me.
Right.
I'm going to remember what you look like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone, like, it's so subjective,
Right.
that you're going to have people that still like, it's not going to change people's opinions of you unless you have a shitty attitude about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I do that all the time of like, damn, like I really thought like that chick was at least gonna place top 5 and like she didn't even place like top 10 or something. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like, yeah, like at the end of the day, as long as you're improving year over year, like that, I feel like that quite literally is just kind of the overall like umbrella of like bodybuilding. It's just year over year improvement by doing the same thing over and over. You know what I mean? Like consistent with what you're doing. And yeah, if you can't at least be like happy with that. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe get upset if you know, put on like 30 pounds in the off season and then, you know, you went through another prep and you didn't look any different, you know, or
yeah.
like, I mean, absolutely be upset. Like, like, it's wasting my time, you know.
Yeah.
But if you can literally look at yourself on stage the last time you're on stage and look at yourself, you know, the most recent time and be like, shit, like, you know, like I made some improvements, like then you're winning, you know, because, and it's cliche and everyone says it, but you can't control who shows up, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And you kind of have to look at it because like, this is what I kept telling myself leading up to nationals too. It's like, if you don't win, then it's only setting you up to be even, if you use it right, it's setting you up to be even better, you know?
Yeah.
Say it like takes another year or even 2 to get your pro card. Well, you're probably that much closer to just going and entering a pro show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like, I mean,
Yeah,
even
that's true.
like the smaller like regional levels, you know what I mean? Like it's your first show. Don't go in and expect to like win the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like I feel like for somebody's like first show or like their first experience, like my advice is just like enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like be in the moment and like be proud of yourself. And you know, as long as you know that you did everything that you could to be the best version of yourself you could be that day, like then like you won. You know what I mean? Like a placing shouldn't determine like, oh, you know, fuck bodybuilding. Like I placed 4th, but like I you know, killed myself this prep or whatever. Like sure, absolutely, but so did the person in 3rd place and 2nd place and 1st place and 6th place. Like,
you know, someone said something about, oh, I sacrificed so much for this. I was flipping through my Instagram earlier, and you know what kind of bugs me about that is it's like, you chose to. Like, don't throw the word sacrifice around. Like, we're all in this.
Yes.
yeah.
And especially when like, I mean, everyone's different. I think it's all in your mind. You know, it's like you can wake up every day and tell yourself it's going to be a great day, and you're probably going to have a pretty good prep, you know?
Yeah.
But when you're kind of just like waking up and you kind of allow the day to determine how you're going to feel, those are the people that are a little more like, you know, they got mood swings. Oh, I hate prep. Oh, I love prep. I hate prep. I love prep. And they're the ones that at the end of the day, like the switch kind of turns and it's like, oh, bodybuilding took so much from me. And it's like, but if you approached it right, it also could have taught you a lot.
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely look at bodybuilding a lot and like what I have gained from it. And I mean, a lot of that is just like the connections like these that I've made, and like being able to find other people who enjoy doing what I enjoy doing and can relate to me, and we can have cool conversations about it, or just like, obviously there are times where we don't even talk bodybuilding on here, and we're, you know what I mean, like we're just chatting and having a good time, and or just like time management that I've been able to kind of be better at, because it's definitely a very weak point of mine. Obviously we've got to be very regimented and, you know, good about our time management, so like it's definitely helped me with that. And I think it's just a sour outlook to, you know, talk about like what bodybuilding ruined for you, or, you know, it caused you in your relationship to, you know, take a downward fall or something. Like, no, there was probably problems in that relationship before bodybuilding, you know?
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Jess is on one. She's like,
Sorry,
I have so much
I
to
know.
say
I was
about
like,
this.
I'm probably coming across really negative. I don't mean to be. I think it's great.
No, I love it. It's not negative. It's like truthful. It's
Yeah. I think it's just speaking on, because I actually, and I feel like maybe I've mentioned this previously, but I had somebody who was inquiring about coaching once. And the only person that's ever asked me this question is like, what are some of like the negatives that are associated with bodybuilding? You know, it wasn't just kind of like, oh, like I see all the sunshines and rainbows and people win things and, you know, people get applauded for like all this stuff. It was like, no, like I want to know kind of like the, you know, what are some of like the things that people would like negatively associate with bodybuilding. And I think like these are all like parts of it. So like not necessarily obviously bodybuilding being negative in general, but just kind of how people perceive it, or how, I don't know, like the people that, again, maybe not aren't in it for the right reasons portray it to be, you know what I mean, a certain way or whatever. But
Have you guys been seeing a lot of, I think it must be like a trending theme or something on Instagram. I don't know, but it's a reel, and I've just seen a lot of people like posting the same one, and it'll be like somebody, I don't know, eating like a cookie after their bodybuilding show, and then it's like the captions on the reel, it's like, this girl didn't know that like by eating this cookie after her show, like she was gonna have, I don't know, like mentally a bad relationship with food afterwards or something like that. Have you guys been seeing those?
I've seen a couple of them, and
Yeah.
I
I think that's kind of like what we're.
yeah, and you know what? It kind of makes me wonder, like, you know, social media and influencers. I feel like when we all started this, it wasn't as prevalent, and we were old enough to kind of like think for ourselves. Sometimes I wonder if nowadays, like, it's kind of like the fad, you know, like I look around my gym and it's like a lot of young kids, and it's awesome. Like I wish I started so young too, but it also kind of makes you wonder, like, if a lot of people are just sort of into it and don't pause to think if it's something that they truly like love and enjoy, or if they're just kind of like, oh, well, I go to the gym, so I guess this is just what you do. You know what I mean? So I think if there was just more people maybe like us putting out there that like, yeah, it's awesome, but it's okay to also like decide for yourself if you actually want to compete, because you can go to the gym and just love going and training.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very true.
Or
Yeah,
maybe you
it's
want
like
to do High Rocks. I don't know, like just but think for yourself, something you want to do, you know?
Yeah, it's not always that like bodybuilding is the next logical step, or competitive bodybuilding, I guess, really would be the thing. Because I mean, I kind of like, I'm relating it now to somebody like, I don't know, if you're in a relationship for like a year and then you're like, oh, like I guess we move in together now, but maybe you haven't even really thought about like, do I really want to be with this person? You know what I mean? It's like sometimes people think the next logical step is like just to do whatever comes next, but it's not always that way. So you kind of have to really think about it.
No, that's super huge. I say all the time, like not everyone was meant to do bodybuilding at a competitive level. You know what I mean? And like definitely, I don't know. It's definitely an overlooked like thing. Like you're saying, just like people just are hopping on to the bandwagon because it's just kind of like what everybody seems to be doing, and obviously it's very prevalent on social media just because social media is now involved with bodybuilding and like sponsorships and things like that, and so it's easy just to kind of see the glamour from that. You know what I mean? Like obviously bodybuilding is very glamorized on social media.
Mhm.
You
And
know,
it's great. Like it's great for the industry because, you know, it's like the more people that do it, like hopefully we can maybe one day start winning more at shows, you know, but it is something that like you need to take it seriously.
yeah.
You know, it's not just something you kind of carelessly kind of enter into. Like you do need to be aware that there's steps you need to follow post show, and that prep is like bodybuilding is not healthy. Like none of us get into this to be healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that definitely wasn't. Yeah. I mean, initially, like going to the gym, like that was the concept or that was the idea. Like, I want to stay in shape. I want to be, but like actually, like getting into the idea of competing, like after having spent some time in the gym, it wasn't like I'm doing this because I think this is what healthy people do. You know what I mean? And not that like I thought the opposite. This wasn't like a thought. You know what I mean? Like it was just I built these muscles and like I want to show them to people. Pretty much, you know what I mean? Or like I want to I don't know, it just had this like this draw or this pull for me, you know what I mean? And like I guess I can't really explain like why or how, but I guess that's also why I've been doing it for as long as I have, because it wasn't like I just saw it on Instagram one day and you know what I mean, was like, oh, I want to be a professional bodybuilder. You know what I mean? Like I like really up until really up until I guess the last like couple shows that I've done, like it hasn't really been like a like, oh no, like I'm really trying to like do this and like I'm trying to like get to a pro stage or whatever. You know, for a while it was just like, yeah, like I think actually it would be really cool if, you know what I mean, like I could get to that next step and turn pro, but it was never like, I don't know, I guess it's weird to say that, I don't know, your goal shouldn't be like the Olympia when you first start. You know what I mean? Because like everybody has like their own dreams and goals, but yeah, it wasn't a thought that like I'm doing this to be healthy. You know what I mean? And I do think that people really need to understand that like that's not what this is. You know what I mean? Like go, and maybe I'm misspeaking, but like I don't know, something like CrossFit where maybe it is a little bit more you know what I mean? Like not so, I don't know, CrossFit's pretty extreme. I don't know. I'm trying to like figure out, go pick up like tennis or something.
Yeah, pickleball is popular.
Pickleball is actually really good.
There's a lot of things people can do.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be competitive bodybuilding. I know a couple people that have like outright said like, you know what I mean? Like I just love training. Like I have no want to meet, or like I've asked other people, like, have you ever thought about competing? Because you're freaking like you would do really well. And they're just like, meh, I just, you know, I just enjoy training. Like I don't want to do the whole, you know, competitive thing. Like I admire that. You know what I mean? Like, I admire the people that don't necessarily feel like they have to like take that next step or whatever. But then it's also like selfishly like, damn, you would look so good. You know?
Little girls like that too. And I'm like, compete. But.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how you can just spot somebody that you're like, oh, that person either does compete or they should compete? Like, I'll just be walking around like the grocery store or something, and I'll see somebody with like great legs, and I'm like, ooh, that person's got really great like muscle bellies or something. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so funny how you start noticing that on people.
That's like an ongoing like tagline for Michael and I. It's like we see somebody like that and there's like, hey, have you ever thought about competing? Like we'll just like say it like to each other or whatever, because it's like you just see people out in the wilds that just have crazy crazy like thing, you know?
Yeah. And then it's funny. It's really funny like being in a relationship with somebody when you're both bodybuilders too, because like I don't know about you guys, but I know with us, like I have no problem being like look at that girl's legs, or look at that girl's glutes.
Her glutes.
And then he's like, oh yeah, like those, yeah, good.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, like I wonder if she competes.
Yeah,
It's
right.
it's just funny.
I
Yeah.
wanna go her. I mean, that's
Like the
literally
things that we point out to each other is like
Mhm.
so weird, where I'm like, that would be probably a problem in
Yeah.
like other relationships, but not when you're bodybuilders.
Yeah.
so funny. I mean, that's quite literally, I feel like, how I make friends sometimes. Like that was my introduction to you, Alyssa, was seeing you at MI40. And
Yes.
her fucking glutes and legs are insane. There's no way she doesn't compete. I have to go ask her.
That's right. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it's a good example.
Very like, I hope that came off like not super weird and it was more complimentary.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, I mean, like, it's funny because everybody like notices each other. So, like, I saw you and I'm like, oh, yeah, she's definitely doing a show soon ish. Like, you could tell, you know?
Yeah.
So,
It is a funny
mhm,
world. It very much is a funny world. But yeah,
mhm,
like yeah, Michael and I definitely, you know what I mean? And like vice versa, like talking about like other dudes or something like that. And
mhm.
just like, you know, that guy has crazy shoulders or with his freaking arms. Michael's like, you know, like wish I had those, you know. Working on these things for years and this dude just walking around the grocery store with freaking pipes. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I guess like that's another thing too, is like, you know, again, just getting into bodybuilding, like not necessarily, I don't know, understanding like certain things like that. Like we don't, like I don't look at the human body the same anymore. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Mhm.
a human being and like have the thoughts, I guess, that I had like pre-bodybuilding or whatever. Is very just, again, just very black and white, like in front of you, you know what I mean? And it's not like I don't think obviously that like Michael's like wanting to like hit on somebody or whatever, you know what I mean? Like I definitely do think
Yeah.
that this is actually a very interesting, I guess, I don't know, thought or like concept. But like I feel like I definitely used to be like a pretty jealous person, like when it came to relationships and everything, or like, you know, thinking that, you know, my significant other is checking somebody out or looking at somebody. And I don't know, I feel like bodybuilding definitely like helped with that in a weird way, I guess, because like that's all you're doing
Mhm.
is, you know, other bodies and like,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
bodybuilding.
And there's a way to go about it. Like it's obvious like when a guy is doing it in like a disrespectful
Yeah,
way, you know, and
yeah,
it's like,
sure.
okay,
Yeah,
enough's enough. But,
yeah,
you know, if you're just like doing it in a way that's, I don't know, I'm
appreciative
not even
of,
sure. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
where you're, mm, I guess, just appreciating, you know, what
so,
somebody looks like, then that's whatever, you know, it's
yeah,
different.
for
Hmm.
sure. Yeah, bodybuilding's a weird one. Definitely a weird. I don't know. I don't know why anybody necessarily gets into it, and I feel like I do. I'm like, why? Like, why do I still do it? You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I don't know, but obviously, it's good fun for
Yeah,
us.
it is. It is weird. I know for me, like, I was just kind of looking for something competitive to do
Mhm.
because I grew up doing dance and like would go to the dance competitions, and I was like very seriously into that. And
Yeah.
then you can only do that to a certain point, you know, it's not like I'm going to go on Broadway or like be a ballerina obviously or anything like that. Like what are you going to do with it? So I think bodybuilding was just a way that it's like, okay, like I'm still kind of like performing and I
Mhm.
go on stage and I get to do the hair and the makeup and like where I always loved like being in the gym. So it all just kind of like made sense and it was a good outlet for being competitive still.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like what it was for me. And I think a lot of people who have athletic backgrounds and stuff like that, like
Very
it's kind
common.
of something good, yeah, for them to go into.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And you definitely have to love that competitive side, and love
Hmm.
like kind of that. I don't know, just love the gym, honestly. Like you have to, you know what I mean? Like enjoy training in a way that's not just like this is my like social time or something. You know what I mean? Like or like this is just like my hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like you really kind of and I mean don't get me wrong, there are definitely days where I'm like I really don't want to go train this right now, you know, but I don't know, like I know at the end of the day, like I'm gonna get through that workout. I know afterwards I'm gonna be like, I'm so happy I did that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like, well, it just depends, but it also gets to the point where like some people do want to just go in the gym and have fun and like not do like a really structured workout or think much about it. But it's also like when you're doing it to compete and maybe, you know, there's certain areas that you need to bring up or whatever, maybe you're doing things that you don't necessarily love doing the most, but that's like what you have to do for your division or whatever. So it's like you also have to consider that if you're just wanting to go in there for fun and you know after like working all day and you just want to go in there and do whatever you want, that might not be what you need to do for like competitive bodybuilding. So it's like
Absolutely.
another thing to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I say all the time, like, I'm not against like somebody going into the gym and, you know, having 5 minutes in between sets and like talking to the, you know what I mean, the buddies that they're there to train with or whatever. Unless it gets,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like if I'm trying to use a machine or
Yeah.
something. But like if that's like how you know what I mean, that's gym culture to you, like who am I to say that what I'm doing is any more important than what you're doing? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that serves you in some way or fashion in your life, just how like what I'm doing serves me and what I'm trying to do. But somebody, when I see somebody like that or treats the gym like that, tell me like, hey, I want to look like you. Like I want to do what you do. It's like trying to make sure that like that, I mean, that's certainly always something I'm very like upfront about is like, well, like first of all, like I have seen you training here and like you just may want to, you know, treat your training a little more intensely or like you're trying to build muscle or something, you know what I mean? Like that's probably
Yeah.
the step. And then, you know, usually followed by like, well, what do you eat? You know what I mean? Like all that kind of
Yes.
or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes maybe people think that we just go into the gym and just curl dumbbells for 3 sets of 10 and you know what I mean? Like it's so interesting to think about like how my mind approaches training now versus how it did like 6, 7 years ago. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I'm so much more I don't know, I feel like I have a hard time sometimes explaining like what I'm doing and like what I'm targeting and why or like, you know, but like I just know that, you know, I'm not just curling a dumbbell. I'm, you know, locking my shoulder back. I'm making sure that I'm getting a good stretch at the bottom. You know what I mean? Like I'm coming up to, you know, just the right contraction to be able to, you know what I mean? Like whatever the case might be versus just going in there and just moving some weight. You know what I mean? Like there's just more intention behind it
Mm-hmm.
than years prior. But
Yeah. Chey, with I don't know why this just like sparked a question for me.
Mhm.
With you doing coaching,
Mhm.
because I coach like just lifestyle clients really right now. Do you have them send you like training videos and stuff like that, or do you like train in person in the gym, or what does that kind of look like? Because I like a lot of people do online training now, or
Yeah.
like they're like an online coach. So,
Yeah.
but like what you just said, it's hard to know if they're like training correctly or with that intention.
Yeah,
Like, what
for
do
sure.
you guys kind of do? You know?
So, I mean, I would say like it kind of depends on like a lot of different factors. But like if somebody obviously is local and like they train at my gym, because I do have like a few clients that we go to the same gym and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's definitely like a balancing act when it comes to it. But like I do offer to link up. I don't charge or anything because I'm not a personal trainer. I don't have any certifications.
Yeah.
I treat it more like
Yeah.
a like be my training partner for the workout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like really try. And usually I have somebody for the first session with me. Like we usually try to hit legs. If it kind of works out, and if we can like time,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that truly is a muscle group that is really good, or like a really good workout to kind of teach somebody intensity or teach somebody, you know, kind of going to
Mm-hmm.
fail stuff. But I certainly offer that if I can make it work. Otherwise, I mean, even those same people, like I do still ask for training videos. So I'll have a
Yeah.
couple tracking sets that I want them to be focusing on for like their videos, and I ask for their working sets. Try to critique from there, and then again, if they're local and I see a few things, I'm just like, hey, like next time, like I'll catch you in the gym and like I'll show you something.
Yeah.
Yeah, for clients that obviously like aren't local, it can be kind of hard to, I don't know, really demonstrate like what intensity looks like, or what, true like bodybuilding training like looks like or feels like. And I guess I try to be like as like clear as I can, and like I definitely put out there that I kind of have like a tough love approach to coaching, and definitely tell you the things that like maybe you don't want to hear, but like there are things you need to hear. And not like I'm out here like slashing people, you know what I mean? Like I'm not a
Yeah.
bitch. It's like, hey, it's been, 3 check-ins and you haven't done like XYZ like I've asked. You know what I mean? Like if you want to do this seriously, like we need to treat it seriously. I don't know, stuff like that. But I mean, there certainly have been people who have like dropped like mid prep for whatever reason, you know what I mean? And it definitely seems like some of the people that just, again, maybe didn't kind of go into it with like the right reasons, or
Yeah.
it's tougher to work with people who have not been, either higher level athletes or like, you know what I mean, consistent athletes in the past, or somebody that's newer to training in the gym. It's obviously like close.
Yeah.
I do have one client, this bikini client that I've been working with for a couple years now. We're actually going to junior nationals in Chattanooga. Yeah, I'm super excited. She pretty like much won the entire show for Jay Cutler last year, like overall thing. And but she was somebody. It's just like it's really funny, just like kind of looking at like the progression of like, not knowing her at all, but seeing her in the gym and like how she trains and stuff. And like I've certainly like we kind of like laugh about it now, or like we've definitely like talked about this. So it's not like I'm bashing her or anything like that, but like the training definitely was like subpar, and like be on the phone in the middle of sets and stuff like that. And it's just funny like seeing that and thinking like, oh my goodness, like this might be a lot of work, and like seeing like who she is now and like what she does now, to like, holy shit, like she, like of all the people, like she wasn't the one that I thought, you know what I mean, was gonna like get into this like 100% and like be so dialed into it, and just like love it how she's kind of ended up loving it. But so like she's someone that like, the training we had to kind of work on, but like now you see her in the gym and like she's fucking laser focused, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I think like stuff like that's really cool to watch, somebody that didn't really know their why of why they were doing it, but kind of found it along the way, and just kind of responded like that. And like just like her posing and everything too, like from when she first started to like now is just like night and day, like different. And I'm really excited for this show of hers. And to speak on the training question that you asked. I don't know how I got there, but
no, I like it. I might be at junior nationals. I'm not totally sure, because I'm only going to be like 4 weeks out or something at that point. So I'm going to have to see how I feel. But Ben is going because he also has a client that's competing in it. So he will be there. I don't know if I'll be there, but I might.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That'll be fun. That's also why Michael normally probably would have gone. But same reason as to why he's not. It's just I'm going to be 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out. And, it's just, I mean, and again, like money on top of that too, like trying to save for a show, I have to travel too. But
it's a lot.
Yeah, it can be. It really can be. And I don't like to like think about it in one lump sum. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like
can't
sit there and Excel and tally it all up.
No.
Don't
do that. Don't do that.
I feel like I would quit tomorrow if I did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a whole other, conversation about setting expectations, like getting into bodybuilding. I feel like, I don't know, I've had this conversation with people and like it still doesn't register until they're like in it. And like, again, I've had people kind of drop out of, doing a prep, or whilst in a prep, just saying like, hey, I didn't really realize like the financial, like, just toll this was going to take. And
valid reason. Valid reason. I can't blame them.
And like those people, he's like, hey, listen, I was a single mom, working 2 jobs, going to school full time, trying to do bodybuilding. Like I get it. Like I absolutely, like, if this is not something that you feel like you're putting into and getting out, you know what I mean? At least enough to compensate for what you're putting into it. Like, no harm, no foul. And, let me know if I ever need anything, So, I mean, you can't be upset at somebody for, you know what I mean, not wanting to invest that much into something like this where you really don't get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
Again, you're doing it for those reasons of like, no, I think it's cool seeing myself improve, year over year or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Money be tight in bodybuilding. Do you guys get a new suit every time, or have you reused suits? I think that's actually a really good topic to bring up. I feel like, because I feel like people think they have to get a new suit every time.
Yeah. No, I've definitely reused suits. I'm gonna use the same suit that I wore last year.
Nice.
So,
I
mean, it's like I only wore it twice last year. It's like there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm gonna wear it again, and I've done that in the past for sure.
Those things are freaking so expensive.
They're expensive.
I'm so stoked for having this sponsorship that I have with the girl that does my suits. Shout out Crystal Bikinis, Chey 10. She's amazing. But yeah, I'm really excited for obviously going to do a new suit for this time around. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that I had zero expectation of. I remember like making my first suit and how pitiful it was. Like I just got like a bare blank suit from Usual Bikinis or whatever that costs like, I think it was like, I don't know, like $100 with like the connectors and shit. And just like bloop, 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 like just like in these like lines, it was hardly anything like on the suit.
Yeah.
I did the whole thing. Like I went to Eagles, I got the gems, I got the glue, and like I would do what I was doing and try to like, it was actually really hard. I felt like looking up, concepts or like ideas. And I don't know, for some reason, like with the figure ones, I thought a lot of them like looked really weird, but obviously now like being in figure, like I love all the patterns and like the designs and everything, but yeah, I don't know, suit selections are interesting. Have you guys ever seen a suit and you're just like, oh my god, what is that?
I don't know that I love the neons that I've seen. No offense to anyone who loves neons, but
yeah. I agree. I did kind of a neon-ish one in 2022, like the last time that I competed in women's physique. I don't know. It was like orange, and then there was like some neon pink in there, and it was nice. Like the suit was great. Like there was nothing wrong with the suit. But then whenever I like saw the stage pictures, I'm like, no.
I feel like with your hair, it would look really pretty.
Yeah.
I think it's something to tread carefully with. But I've also I've gotten really old, and I've realized like I love just like simple things.
Yeah.
Like I love seeing like designs and crazy like bright colors on other people, and I always think, oh, I want to do something like loud and fun.
Yeah.
And then I get it on me, and I'm just like, why did I buy this? Not necessarily like anything fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's my struggle is like I definitely am a very kind of monochromatic type, you know what I mean, style. Like I kind of like different shades of the same color sort of feel. But yeah, I try to like jump out of my comfort zone a little bit. Like I'll send you guys a suit concept or whatever that I have in mind, or a couple of them. One of them, I really liked Manon's suit from one of her suits from this past season. I think it was a suit that she wore for Toronto. It was like black, and it had I feel like bright. It was like orange and like hot pink or something like that. Like it kind of had like.
I think I know what you mean.
I honestly like, I don't know
Yeah.
what it looked so sharp and like it looked so good with like her whole package and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
but like, I mean, that's also like another thing to think too is like Menon looked good in that. You know what I mean? Like, who's to say that anybody else could pull that off? You know?
Yeah. And also like something to keep in mind, because I'm the same way where, I mean, the neon thing was that was a little bit out of like character for me, but like I like just I'm naturally drawn to like neutral colors.
Mhm.
So definitely like I've done like a gold suit and like I typically like the more like burgundy, like colors like that. But
Colors, yeah.
those like also don't always do the best because they're too dull. Like you want, I'm not saying neon, but you want something brighter that's gonna
Yeah.
like actually stand out.
Probably because we both have like similar like features, like darker
Yeah.
hair, like
Mhm.
similar skin tone. And
Mm-hmm.
I have like a cranberry colored posing suit that
Mm-hmm.
I love, and I would love it on stage. But like by the time you're all tanned up, I feel like it
Yeah.
would just be like the same color. So I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you do need something like I sometimes hate that like, the best colors to choose are like, the blue and the green and the red and like you see everybody in those colors,
yeah.
but those are the colors. I mean, they will typically do well on stage.
Yeah.
So,
It's funny too because like I don't like blue. I don't know why. Like I've never really worn blue in my life, but for some reason, like I loved that blue suit that I wore at nationals, and it was just like simple
yeah.
blue. So also like you can lean on your suit designer too because like they know like how different colors look under those lights.
Mhm.
So it's also kind of one of those things that I feel like stuff like that, like I kind of, and this could be because like I'm a graphic designer. So when people try to come to me and tell me how to design something and their
Yeah.
idea sucks, I'm kind of like, can I help you?
Yeah.
Like I've learned over time that like people are professionals in their field for
Mhm.
so
Absolutely.
Yeah.
if you're not sure how something is gonna like look under those stage lights, like just see what they think too, you know?
Hmm.
It's kind of like one of my
No,
Yeah.
that's
That's
spot
true.
on. Because I mean, I've seen people that, want to do like, the bright yellow suit or something like that. And it's like, unless like you are, I feel like darker skinned and like, you know what I mean? Like there's certain like shades of, their skin color or hair, even just like weirdly enough, I feel like what complements just like your aesthetic and like your shape and stuff that you know what I mean? Like you're not just because you love the color yellow doesn't mean you have to wear yellow on stage.
Right. Yep.
Um, and I think that's a very important thing to kind of because I mean, like especially as like a first time competitor, like maybe a girl that's like a girly girl, that's so exciting. Like it's almost like picking your wedding dress. You know what I mean? And like you're obviously putting so much money into it. Like of course you want to be like, I want this to represent me and who I am, and like this is my chance to kind of custom, make something for me. Um, but yeah, like not all the time is that going to be like what is going to look the best on you on stage with a tan, under the lights,
Mhm.
makeup with the hair. Like it's all a package, you know what I mean? And it's a judge package. Like your beauty package apparently is a thing that they, you know what I mean, they consider and they look at. Like if I don't know, I feel like I don't know, that'd be a silly thing to say and like maybe like interject or whatever, but I feel like when it comes down to minor odds and ends, like somebody whose beauty package is better than another's may take the, you know what I mean? Is that crazy to say, or do we think that that is a consideration?
I don't think you're gonna lose a show because of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it's truly like,
But you might get your pictures back and be a little bummed.
That's true. I definitely think so. I think like I know like when I turned pro,
mhm,
I did my own hair and I
mhm,
did my own makeup, which
mhm,
I wasn't bummed with the pictures, like, but it could have looked a lot better if I would have gotten it done, and I'm sure I would have loved it better. But
mhm,
I turned pro,
true.
doing my own hair and makeup, and by no means am I great at makeup or
Yeah,
hair.
Same.
So I think like if you bring like an undeniable kind of package to the
Yeah,
stage, then it's fine.
sure.
But I think like at a pro level, when you are literally splitting hairs with people and everybody is just like on their game,
Yeah,
then I think it could come into play
sure.
depending,
Yeah.
So
I
maybe.
I have to say, I fucked my hair up at nationals. I fucked my little bang up, but I had so much fun doing my own makeup,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I actually think like a lot of people would benefit from the stress relief of doing your own makeup.
Hmm.
See, that is an interesting take because I almost felt the opposite. So
Oh,
I
really? Okay.
so I've always done my own stage makeup up until nationals. Um,
Hmm.
and I just remember like for the national qualifier I did Connecticut or whatever, like doing my own makeup, like it was fucking June. I was sweating, I was hot, I was uncomfortable. I wanted to curl my hair, but I didn't because I was like, there's no fucking way I'm taking a curl and I'm doing sitting here and like doing this and raising my, you know what I mean? Like for me, it was just kind of like, let me just, it's nationals. I'm gonna do it and kind of get the whole experience, get my hair makeup done and stuff. And like I honestly felt like because like they're on their own timeline, you know what I mean? Like granted it's
Hmm.
Jessica, they were a little behind at one point and like wellness girls were still getting their hair and makeup done at nationals when they were supposed to be like warming up or whatever. But for the most part, I feel like they are pretty on time. And like I feel like for me that was like I'm not gonna, you know what I mean, like fuck up my time management and then, be trying to get
Hmm.
ready and do my hair and makeup. But you know what I mean? I don't know, not gonna get there in time or whatever. I just wanted to like, I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to go and like let them do everything for me to me. And I don't know, I felt like for me, like it was a little less like I gotta make sure it's perfect and like I gotta do it myself and you know what I mean? I don't know.
I think
Hmm.
probably my sentiment stems from my qualifier
Mhm.
on my regional. Um, my makeup appointment was at like 3 a.m. and
Oh,
Justin was so mad. He's like, and
that's
I think he was just annoyed because like he always ran into this with girls having to do their makeup like stupid early. And he's like,
Hmm.
I've never had someone lose a show and the feedback be like your face was messed up and you could have been sleeping for an extra 3 hours. And I'd rather have you sleeping and maybe have a little messed up face. So for nationals, I was like, all right, well, I've got a couple months to figure out how to do this. And
yes.
Hmm.
I'm the type of person who like, you go to schedule this stuff and it's like they want you to like select times and it's like, how the hell do I know when I'm going to be able to be somewhere? So
Yeah.
between that and just like we were all in the same like hotel, and I know that I'm the type of person like if I need to be somewhere, I'm going to be there like 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
So like removing the pressure of needing to be anywhere except shooting over to get our second coat of tan,
Hmm.
Mhm.
that was just so easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's definitely, I mean, I think it's just kind of all in how you, I don't know, like I guess like perceive those stressors or whatever. But at least for nationals, like I paid for it and then they reached out and gave their own like timeline or whatever and said, hey, like this is your appointment time. You've got to be here at this time. But I do know, like, I feel like it is a thing with regional shows where you have to select your time. Just like, I think same with like tan time too. Like you select your own tan time.
Yeah.
Whereas this time around,
It's
totally,
so silly because it's like, I don't know, like you tell me.
I think you like swapped because it's like the regional
Yeah.
person really know, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
how a show works or like the timeline of a show or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I feel and like I personally like I liked the makeup that they did so much better than what I have been able to do on stage.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Hmm.
and I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless I know that like, hey, I'm hurting for money right now, I guess. Like, and I don't want to spend because I think it was like $300 for hair and
It's
makeup.
pricey, especially if you do both, if you do hair and makeup, it's pretty expensive. I know like I did my hair because all I was doing last year was straightening it. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I can do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Um, but I did feel like it was worth it to get the makeup done, even though I think my makeup time was like 5 a.m. or something like that. So
That's not
it
bad.
is really early. And then I literally wasn't going on stage until like 11 or something.
Yeah.
So, but I'm a weirdo too. I just want everything done like as early as possible. So that way, like, I don't have to worry because I'm always scared I'm going to miss something. But
Mhm.
it's also, like Jess was saying, probably not the most ideal to, not be getting as much sleep as you can and
Well,
stuff like that. So
5 a.m.
it's,
is reasonable. 5 a.m. is
that's,
reasonable.
yeah, much more than 3.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a little excessive. That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Especially because, like, I had to stay up later than usual to get more meals in. So it's like,
Eat, yeah.
normally, especially like,
Yeah.
like me, I'm like a big sleeper. I go to bed super early and,
Mhm.
I'm up fairly
Mhm.
early anyway, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is hard planning that stuff around, like, because you don't even necessarily always know what you're going to have to eat, like, the morning of, so then trying to figure out, like, packing meals to, like, go to your makeup appointment or whatever
Yeah.
you need to do. It's, and then your coach is, like, wanting pictures and,
Mhm.
whatever. So it is kind of hard to plan it all.
Yeah. Show day can be crazy. Show day can be a little hectic.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's over just like that.
So fast, man.
Yeah.
It's so fast. And like I think that's like in hindsight, like a big reason why I don't know, I still like feel like I had a sour attitude getting off stage or whatever for nationals. And it wasn't like at all to do with like where I was thinking I was placing. Like it was literally because I was like what the fuck? Like that was way sooner than it was supposed to. Like our class went on earlier than we were supposed to. And like it was like I'm already done. Like I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jess, but like I was anticipating us being on at like 10 o'clock, maybe like 9:45, 10 o'clock.
It's one of those things where it's like, I was, early bird that I am, I was thrilled that it didn't go until like freaking midnight.
Yeah.
At the same time, I was just like, really? Like, we don't even get to do like a little routine?
Yeah, exactly. Like I just feel like it definitely, and like I get it. Like it's a long day for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we have the time that we have there, but the judges and stuff, like they're there that much longer, especially for some of these national shows, 2-3 day events or whatever. But yeah, like it is like a kind of like a womp womp. And again, it's definitely something to, mention to the competitors coming in is like you're probably going to feel like for all the work that you put in, like the amount of time that you actually get to show for it on stage is like like not as much as you probably want it to be.
I tell everyone, like, soak up the last couple weeks. Like,
Yeah.
don't rush them by.
Yeah.
I mean, you might feel like you want to. At the very least, like, soak up the couple days before the show. Take a bunch of pictures. I wish I took more pictures.
Yeah, I know that's like another big thing too, is like, I mean, we definitely like we've been recently like documenting like our trips more and stuff, which I really love, like just having like these albums like of our Tampa trip or Puerto Rico or I mean Texas. It's nice to have those like look back on, but especially like for these bigger shows where it's like, Jess, like that was your first and only national show, like and
That's crazy.
I know, and I haven't even done enough shows to have like enough stage experience. So
yeah, that's a crazy thing too. Like just I don't know, like doing 2-3 shows, 1-2-3 shows, and I mean like being pro or whatever. Like I definitely, I don't know, Jess. Maybe that's all the more reason why you should get on stage this year to get more stage experience.
Now it costs a lot more money to get stage experience. I'll tell you what.
Experience is expensive.
Come on, Jess, do it.
Yeah. No, that's why like if you can afford it, you know what I mean? Like doing all the classes that you can as a regional competitor, like you know what I mean, if it truly is your first time. And again, like, I'll always say like if you can't afford it, like you can't afford it. Just do the open or whatever, or even like just do novice. So that's kind of like all your get out of it or whatever. But like if you can, like do the true novice, do the novice, do the open, do the masters if you're 35 plus or whatever. To, you know what I mean? Like get as much stage time as possible, get as much stage experience as possible. And you know what I mean? Like just don't be so eager to get to the next thing, you know, because there is going to be a time where, you know what I mean? Like you know, potentially might be pro and you're going to look back and be like, damn, like just being an amateur was so much fun. You know what I mean? Or like, you know, I really wish I kind of, you know, took the time to appreciate XYZ or something. And yeah. Do you feel like you have any of that at all, Alyssa? Like, or do you feel like you're,
Oh my gosh. Yes. Like Ben and I talk about this. I feel like it's so much different once you turn pro. Like, I feel like when you're an amateur, you know, I don't know, you're fresh and you're like, it's all exciting. You're making the improvements that you need to make, and it's all kind of geared toward like turning pro. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure you know exactly like what I mean. So, and it's exciting, and that's like the main goal. But then you turn pro, and now, you know, I know we were literally just talking about like doing this for yourself and all of that, but it's like now everybody is like at the same level. Not, you know, not everybody, but
fair game.
A lot, like I said, it's like splitting hairs at these pro shows, and you could be in third call outs, but the people in the third call outs aren't that far off from the people in the first call outs. You know what I mean? So it just feels a lot more serious, I guess, at that point. And like you just it just feels a little bit different. I don't know how to explain it, but it definitely, like, you feel the level. You just feel how much more serious it is at that level. Yeah. You've like leveled up.
And I mean, like, you know, I say it all the time, like you're just small fish in a big pond again, you know, and you're not peak of your phase or your stage or your level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're now going up again to you know, the next pro moment is, you know, going to the Olympia, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe like certain things, you know, like we were talking about earlier, that you could get away with when you were an amateur. Maybe you did have like high levels of stress, or maybe you didn't, you know, have like the best sleep or whatever the situation is, but like you were still good enough to make it work as an amateur. Those things like sometimes don't work as a pro. Like the things all need to line up even better at that point. So it's like you just have to be even more on point with it. So yeah. And then it's, you know, figuring out like, can I make that work at that level? Like I could as an amateur, but as a pro, you know,
it's more expensive.
Everybody's doing this very seriously. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah, scary to think about, but I don't know. That's like, and that was kind of like this experience to me was like, and like that's what I wanted, was like I want to see like the big girls. You know what I mean? Like I want to stand with like the girls that are like not just like winning the regional shows, but like shows and looking the part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, like that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like comparing yourself to a person,
but it is really cool to be at a pro show and be like backstage and even on stage with these people that you've been kind of like looking up to, you know what I mean? So it is really neat.
Yeah, dude, that would be the craziest thing ever. It would be the craziest ever. I feel like just, I don't know, fucking standing, like Jessica, can you imagine standing up against like fucking Jessica Reyes or something like that? Like,
oh shit.
I would just be like, what am I doing here? Like,
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. I
yeah,
mean, like obviously, I mean, last year I wasn't in like a first call out, but when they bring you out initially, like in the initial comparisons
yeah,
before they do the call outs,
you could be
like
with
I think I was standing next to like, I don't know if you guys know who this is. It's a wellness girl, but Lisa Meiswinkle, or I'm not sure how to say her last name, but she ended up winning Tampa Pro last year, and I'm pretty sure I was like standing directly next to her.
yeah,
And like I have pictures of it, and it's just
yeah,
cool. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't in the first call out with you, but I'm standing next to you, so that's pretty
yeah.
cool.
We're here doing what you're saying,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So it's
Um,
it's neat.
yeah, that's definitely like kind of Michael's headspace, like going into this pro show is like, you know, there's zero expectation, you know, like this is your
Mhm.
first show, it's your pro debut, and you know, it's more about like the experience and getting to stand on a pro stage and, you know, just I don't know, we say it all the time, like this is gonna be fucking crazy. You're gonna be standing next to fucking Justin Shire, who
Yeah.
knows? You know what I mean? Like Andrew Jackson, maybe like what the fuck? Like it's just and especially like for someone like him who like loves it as much as he does and has like followed it like to its depth for as long as he has, like I don't know, it's just like it's a really cool moment and I'm excited to I don't know, watch him up there with it.
Mhm.
It'll be fun. It'll be
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
yeah.
Um, Really quick, how is I you started with your coach, right?
Yes. Pretty good. I mean, honestly, like it's not a whole lot different from what I was doing. There's like a couple, I guess, like new foods that like I haven't really been eating. Like I don't eat eggs. I have eggs in the morning. And just more like actual like not whole food meal. Well, yeah, I guess like more whole food meals. Like I would whole food meals. Like before
Mhm.
doing like 3 scoops of protein a day or whatever, and now I'm down to one, and like just like minor changes like that or whatever.
Mhm.
He initially did send me a training protocol or a training plan, and definitely like just completely different from like what I'm doing now. As you know, Hunter kind of got into it when she first started with him. Definitely like a lot of volume and stuff, and just a
Mhm.
different training than what I'm used to. But I actually just I had the conversation with him of like, hey, listen, like I'm the dedicated like training partner to my boyfriend who is an open bodybuilder
Mhm.
getting ready for his pro show. Like he's in prep right now. You know, just going with that training split would pretty much mean like us, you know, pretty much going separate ways training wise. And
Mhm.
like I'm totally like game for, you know, when his prep is over, like I'll, you know, do what whatever, like we'll go on the split. And it was pretty much like what he said too. He was like, oh no, like totally, I totally understand that. Like, you know, by all means, you know, just ideally when we're kind of like 18 weeks outish, I'd like us to be more on the split because it is definitely more like figure based, obviously, or just like a split that's more geared towards figure. But like, I mean,
Mhm.
I'm still going to, you know, do a little bit more shoulders when Michael's doing chest, you know, and kind of things like
Yeah.
that. To like do things like while we're training that like I'm trying to kind of focus on more.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and you're still like nearby him to where
yeah,
like you could spot him or whatever. Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, so far so good. I just had my second check-ins on Wednesday. So like that's another different thing too. It's just like a random middle of the weekday, I guess, doing check-ins versus like
Yeah.
always been used to doing like Saturday check-ins, obviously. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, just very short and sweet and simple, which honestly, like I like at least like right now, obviously, because it's just been a couple weeks and we're just obviously like you know getting to know one another and just kind of formulating what I assume is like a baseline or a maintenance.
Yep.
Again, the idea is probably initially like this fat loss phase, kind of get down to like more of like a comfortable like body comp. Oh no, my battery's low. But then like from there, I imagine it's just kind of, if I had to guess, probably like feeding up like into a prep.
Mhm.
Honestly, like probably starting like right as Michael's ending, or maybe like the week, like just the week before, or something like that.
Mhm.
Uh, so far, nothing crazy or fancy or exciting, but
Yeah. No,
um,
I'm excited for you.
yeah, me too.
It's gonna be fun.
I don't know. It's weird thinking about like I don't know, like I'm one of these girls. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like all of you girls, like you got your like legit coach and like doing the whole like, I don't know, it's weird. Again, like obviously Michael being my coach for so long, it's just been my check-ins are literally just you sitting on the couch taking my photos for me and like what my meals are in front of me. So
Yeah.
kind of like what
It'll
we
be a
chatted.
little different, but
Yeah, it just feels legitimate. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to manifest that feeling into like that's just gonna create the look on stage that I've been trying to create, you know, the last couple of shows. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I just want to look at again like photos of myself and be like, holy shit, like I freaking did that. You know what I mean? Like my legs are in shape finally, and I did that, you know. Yeah, so we'll see. I honestly I do have like a lot of faith in him after just kind of looking more into again like who he has for other competitors and you know trying to do a little more research on him as much as I can, I guess. But yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, good. It's gonna be a good year.
I think so. I think it is going to be a one.
I still want to go eat.
Well, yeah, no, I'm honestly sitting here doing the pee dance, and my computer is on 10%. So.
That's what I was doing, and I was like,
I actually
can
think my
any
phone
longer.
is at 10% too.
Oh, no.
Now, obviously, like I don't want to take you too much away, obviously, from what you're doing, Alyssa. But yeah, I feel like on these podcasts, I chug an energy drink, and I try to obviously keep up on my water. And then it's also just something for me to do while I'm sitting here, like just picking up something and drinking. So I feel like it's definitely once we hit like usually an hour 30, I'm like, okay, I have to.
Yeah.
It's I had a rest day today, and I eat like bird food on rest days. So it's my all right, I gotta go.
You're like, it is bed. Or wait, do you have to go eat, or are you gonna go to bed?
Eat. Oh God, no, it's not bedtime quite yet. Give me another hour or two.
No,
I know you said you go to bed early though. So
I do. Like I'm laying in bed at like 8:30. Yeah.
Listen, there's early sunlight coming through.
Yeah, it's only
wait,
6
what?
o'clock now. It's only 6 o'clock now, so I got a couple hours.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that you're what are you like 2 hours?
3 hours. So you don't change time, so sometimes it's only 2 hours.
Oh, you don't do daylight savings. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so bizarre to me. Like
That's crazy.
It's great. Starting at 4:30 is so much better for me than starting at 5:30 because 7 o'clock is getting close.
Yeah, because it's 9. It's 9 here now. So
yeah.
That's
I don't know
why I totally forgot that you're not in our time zone.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys do it.
You're like, I'd be sleeping by now.
I really would. Seriously, I would be like, sorry.
I love it.
Love it.
Awesome, ladies. Well, it was a pleasure. I'm glad we got to get together again. Next weekend, I will be gone at a show for a competitor. And again, like really no pressure, but you guys totally are more than welcome to like do one without me, and I can show Jess. It's very easy to like do.
I think isn't Pittsburgh next weekend?
It is.
I kind of want to watch Pittsburgh.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry. I fucking can't. And no, I'm honestly this client that I have that's doing not her first show, but her second show. It's her first show with me. And she like blew her stage weight last time by like 15 like pounds or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Like she's gonna have a really good showing. I'm really excited. But yes, I forgot it was Pittsburgh and probably can't watch it. And I really wanted to, but all right, this is probably a sign for us to go because now it's gone and frozen.
Oh no. I just figured she was picking her nose.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
We'll chat.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Bad bitch, I'm a